The purpose of this video is to answer a question that I actually got from one of you guys out there, which is how many loan modifications can you have? It's a great question. If you are a subscriber to my page, welcome back. Good to see you. If not, make sure you subscribe, like my video, and let me know if you have a question. Your question probably will help, millions of other people out there. So let me know what you need. I always try to do everything I can to get back to everyone and make videos that are actually helpful. So a lot of you guys are in COVID forbearances out there. You're trying to transition off of them. Maybe you had a past issue, before COVID where you had to get a loan modification. Real generally and real quick, a loan modification is an agreement that people who are in default with their bank, meaning if you've missed mortgage payments, a loan modification is something that a bank can give you to kind of resolve the issue without you having to pay everything you owe. So if you missed, 3 or 4 mortgage payments and then your income recovers and you had the ability to resume your payments, but you owe 4 months and you don't have that 4 months worth of money to pay them all at once, a loan modification might be a good option for you. It typically takes the amount that you're behind on, it moves it to the end of the loan, and then it's a new agreement that allows you to just resume making payments moving forward. If you have questions about loan modifications or about the specifics of a COVID forbearance plan or anything like that, there are other videos on my page about that. This video is just answering the question, how many loan modifications can you have? And the answer to that is it depends, and it depends on who your investor is. So as you know, there are 5 main government investors. An investor just means this is kind of the decision maker on your loan. They're the party responsible for the funds. So you guys all out there probably have servicers. Servicers are banks that have names like Mr. Cooper, Loan Care, Chase Bank is a servicer, Wells Fargo is a servicer, Caliber Home Loans, SPS, SLS, I could go on, right? The servicer is the person that you talk to on a regular basis. They're the company that issues your mortgage statements and processes your payment. If you apply for a loan modification, you will be applying with your servicer, but the ultimate decision maker as to whether you get a loan modification or as to whether you qualify for a loss mitigation program, that decision is ultimately up to your investor. So your investor is likely one of these 5 investors: Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, the VA, or USDA. 90% of mortgages in America are backed by one of these 5. It is possible, though, that you're watching and you have a private investor that is not one of those 5, but investor guidelines dictate how many people or how many times you can receive a loan modification. So most commonly, I'll just give an example with Fannie Mae. So Fannie Mae has an investor guideline that says over the life of a borrower with Fannie Mae, they can have 3 loan modifications. I believe it's the same for a few of those other government-backed investors. I just dealt with the Fannie Mae one, so I'm using Fannie Mae as this example. But basically, if you have borrowed money from Fannie Mae and you ask for a 4th loan modification after you've been approved for 3, they likely will not give it to you, and they will likely use that investor bar reason as why you don't get it. So if you have had several loan modifications and you're wondering what's going to happen to me now, you want to ask your bank who your investor is, and then you want to ask the bank that you're talking to, what is the rule? So if your lender tells you, oh, you have a private investor, you can say something to them like, do they have any restrictions on how many modifications I can get? What I will tell you is many private investors, meaning not those government investors, allow very few modifications. Some private investors say you only get 1, and some private investors don't allow any loan modifications. And so the government tends to be a little bit more lenient in what they're able to give out. So your job really to answer this question, because I don't know who you have out there or what you're dealing with, the question you want to ask yourself is, who's my investor? You want to figure that out. Once you know who your investor is, you should be able to either look it up online. You can Google that question. You can Google like Freddie Mac, how many loan modifications, and then there should be like a government-backed webpage that can say loan modifications with Freddie Mac. You can have 3 per the life of the loan, or Fannie Mae 3 per the life of Fannie Mae. So that's just kind of the inquiry that you want to go on. If you have questions about this in particular, go ahead and leave your comment or question here. I will try to post more answers as I go back and just refresh myself on some of the other more private-backed investors. If I can come up with some more information, I'll update you guys here. But that's generally the answer. It's usually around 3 if you have a government-backed investor, if not 3. If you have a private investor, it will probably be lower. But now at least you guys know kind of what questions you need to ask in order to figure this out. Good luck.